what they do.
It's like, it was short, it was short.
We're almost live if y'all want to keep talking about.
Yeah, we
the
can.
sports on.
Yeah, we can go ahead and continue it online.
Okay. All right. January 27th. First order of business is our unapproved minutes, which should be on the back, from our November meeting. Because if y'all remember, we didn't have a quorum for December. So I'll entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
Move to accept. Move to accept. Second it. How about that?
All right. Next thing, me and Yesenia talked, and she was telling me how when y'all first started this committee, y'all talked about like subcommittees. Like a few people are focused on marketing, a few people are focused on volunteer coordination. So we wanted to bring that up and see what you guys thought about doing that for our committee. And if so, what do those subcommittees look like?
Or like them would be in charge of connecting with schools and seeing like the events that they have going on and some, I don't know if you remember. I tried to look, I could never find any of the documents, but yeah, it was the school. You always say that, but I can never find any of it. But we have new members, and so, I mean, we need a new one to get started anyway. But basically, it's like, we were divided into, okay, so we had just got divided into schools, I think it was church and city, and I guess, and businesses. So, you know, for instance, like me and her would be schools, so we would go to the school and say, hey, you know, do you need help advertising anything? Or, you know, with the city, hey, what do you have going on? You know, anything that was the goal. We had just started that. We never got to really implement it or do anything. If that's about, yeah.
There it is.
That's
there it is.
about,
Take all these names off. It's already set up for us and everything.
yeah.
Amen.
Just nonprofit civics, yeah, and then Bryant schools. So, like I said, we're just gonna have to start. We have
We're gonna
new.
look at that. I think we need to look at it from a standpoint of, are we still wanting to do those things? And if we're gonna do those things, then how does everybody feel about doing those things? That's what I would say, you know, so it don't be a waste of time.
Right. So this originally was a plan for the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council, Bryant 101, it looks like, and a multicultural event. Which, hey, I'm still pushing the mayor that I want that to be a kickoff for the venue. So I know we want to talk about presence at events. We want to talk about how to spread the word beyond what City Hall spreads the word. To operate social media, I'm not sure. That would be something that, like, if you guys ever see something on Facebook that you're like, hey, City Hall needs to share that, I'd love just forward it to me, and I can pop it on social media.
That's because I think with all the pages that you guys have, I think that should be the good instead of having somebody like one of us talking about operating.
Right.
Back then it was cool or whatever, but now we just,
Yeah.
I think it could be changed to where, like, we can share it. For the group.
Just the original intent was that the survey.
Right.
And so all of that just went, you know, south. Because there were other things going on.
Right.
But we're not gonna have this survey anymore. So I don't think we ever will. Do you?
Well, we'll still be doing surveys.
Now we're gonna help.
Yeah, help surveys. I don't know that we'll put them together as a committee, but like anytime the mayor wants to start doing surveys about a comprehensive growth plan, like what do you want to see in Bryant? So stuff like that, we would help disseminate the information, like Fall Fest or Duck Derby or something like that.
Mhm.
I think the main thing I wanted to about say, because it comes up when you're visiting with people, community,
Mhm.
is I really felt like our whole thing would be to help gain the trust
Mhm.
of the citizens, because they don't. I'm not gonna say they don't. There are certain people that just think that City Hall is up to no good and everybody's getting rich up here. Ish.
We're fine.
I know. I think that they should actually make it public somewhere where you can see what people get paid. Because nobody's getting rich.
Right. Mhm. Amen.
And, I mean, our group, we're totally volunteer.
No, you're not getting paid?
Oh, well, let's step out the hall and talk about this.
I was just kidding.
Council members, I mean, it's just,
Mhm.
sort of like, it probably comes up to 2 cents an hour,
Pretty much.
something like that,
Right.
But when you,
There's not a transparency ordinance.
I would love for that to be out there.
I know that, like Transparency Arkansas, you wanna find out what I make, go to Transparency Arkansas, type my name in, you can see what I do and what I make, I know that, so.
And it's weird, because
Not that I want people to do that.
we recently went through like an audit with Transparency Arkansas. The only information they required from city government was the salaries of the elected officials, which I thought was interesting that they don't want, which, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with putting public employees' pay information.
Well,
They
I
only wanted
think that anything that the people of Bryant to realize that, now, I think by this time I would know if there was some kind of under the table. There's not.
Right.
But people need to be able to look at that
Well,
and say, what we're here to make this a good community, to improve it.
so to your point, like, so if the community doesn't trust the city government, what is it that they don't trust?
Well, from just,
You know?
I don't know, Facebook, of course, or social media is where you see people talk about things, and it just gets so far-fetched.
And one thing that we have talked about as like an administration is that, as a city, we're required to have so much funds in our savings. We take tax dollars every year, and then we aren't able to like verbally talk to all the residents, so they may not know where their tax dollars are going. I was driving through, Little Rock today, and they have street signs all over their city that say, Road Improvement District, blah, 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 this is your tax dollars at work. I'm like, what, how would that look in Bryant if every project we did, we were like, this is exactly what your tax dollars are going to?
I think it's our biggest hurdle
Of
of the
that
trust
doesn't trust.
of the
Well, that'd
people.
be a good questionnaire, right? I mean, what is it that you don't
Well, that was
trust
what, when we
about?
were doing the survey,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and we had all those questions,
Right.
it gave them a blank page to say, this is what I don't like, or I think that the officials are,
oh,
using
so
our
y'all
money.
y'all did that?
We started all that.
And honestly, that's not to say that if we talk to the mayor and we're like, this is what the committee wants to do, we want to gauge the, trust level of the residents, there's nothing to say that we couldn't put that survey out to the committee.
And that's what is, how we had those really good, the paperwork, whatever we had, the forms we had at the Christmas thing.
Oh, mhm.
I didn't really look at them but I know that it was helpful, because we had one sheet that had all of the agencies
Mhm.
that people in need could go to. But if we had, one of those was our survey. Because I'm not really afraid to know. I want to know. I want to know what people
Mhm.
think.
Yeah, it would be good. I think that it would be good to not just act on that, not necessarily say, you know, we want a transparency ordinance, but find out from citizenry what they would like to see
Yeah.
from that. Maybe might give them we might try to come up with 4 or 5 options that they could check box, or just leave it open and say, what would you like to do? But I know that there are some, excuse me, I don't know. I would think or imagine that there will be some that believe that perhaps the water department is just, you know, raking
Ripping you
people over
off.
the coals
Yeah.
because water is going up. You know, all these services, you know, Summit Utilities, that whole deal, your gas bill is gonna go up. And, that's going to cause your water bill to go up, and it's all gonna trickle down, or trickle up. So, I agree, I see that there's some mistrust, I may get it.
And
Kristen-
I
Kristen gets it all the
encourage
time.
people, we encourage people, come up here. You know, we have where you can stand up and talk and ask questions and all that.
Right.
Please.
Well, you know, every council meeting too, the whole PDF packet's online, you can go look at it to see the budget and everything, but it's out there, but, still there's some mistrust, I agree, so that sounds good.
Yeah, and we're never gonna get more voters. I mean, I've got to quit being so negative. We would love to get more voters. And people that want to be involved in what's happening in Bryant. And people that you could, let's just say something's gonna happen, like these annexations and things, or whatever's about to happen.
Right.
And if there was some way for it to be presented, like, you know, that this side, the pros, this side, so that they would get an even idea of how this could benefit them, or how this is not gonna benefit them. But if it's just people out there talking, we'll never, the naysayers.
They'll come up with their own
Well, but
ideas.
I think that, there's always in every single city, I'm pretty sure they really don't trust the city, there's distrust everywhere. And so I really feel that if we act on it more than ask the question, because I'm pretty sure if you ask, everybody's gonna be like, yes, you know? Like you said, I'm pretty sure maybe the water bill would be something that's like, hey, you know, so if you ask, like, I don't think we even asked that question. And at some of the events, they're like, well, the water bill, and, you know. So I don't think we even need to ask anymore. I mean, because it's gonna be a yes. I think we can act on it. We can, and this is some of the stuff that, you know, we talked about. Okay, let's get the information out there. If, what can, as a committee, we can get together and say, okay, how can we help with that? And what is the solution to the distress? So what information can we put on our table that's gonna help close that gap?
Spells it out.
Because, I think it's an unofficial survey on Facebook, you know, do you trust the city or not? I think
Right.
it's unofficially on there. And the answer is
Yeah.
yes. So how are we going to fix that? So I think we need to, you know, go past the survey and act now. And if, you know, if y'all want to put any kind of information you think that would be helpful to close that gap, or suggestions. And, I know we have, talked a lot, and we've said, well, this would be good to have on there, and this would be good to have on the table. And so we haven't really acted on. So, these two things kind of go together. So that's why I kind of wanted to form the groups, and I think these also, the event support and volunteer, I think that's also a great idea to maybe include in those groups. And that way we can finally have our table set up. I don't know about y'all, but the last event, I mean, it was awesome, but I felt like we were a little bit lost, like, what do I do? I have information here, but what do I do with it? How do I, share this? And so I think if we concentrate more on what do we want to have on the table and how we want to present it to the public, it's going to help us more close that gap of that mistrust that they have. Because they're going to be like, well, there's a table there that's, it's not by city employees, it's, by the community members, and, they're sharing this or that, or they have about the water bill, or they have about the budget, and stuff like that. I had no idea about the budget meeting, even though they sent like 1 million text messages. I didn't really know what it was about and stuff, and so that's stuff that we can help with.
Yeah, I would like to point out too that Bryant has for years, I think, been forward-leaning and trying to gain some trust. The little letter in the water bill, I've never seen that until I lived here. Nobody sent with a spotlight from, a different employee or whatever. That, I don't always read it front to back, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I know that Mayor Treat's starting to put out those emails that we got today.
Yeah, there's 137 pages.
Mm-hmm. It's out there though, it's going
Mayor
out.
Treat puts out that.
Can I? Yeah, that's right. I know he writes it himself. Can I ask a question on this plan? It just says Youth Advisory Council and multicultural event. What did that mean? I know the words, but what are you gonna do with Youth Advisory Council? And understand having a multicultural event, but what was this community trying to do with Youth Advisory Council?
Remember? the
I believe
school-
the mayor was trying to start the youth advisory council, and then we're going to try to create a multicultural event.
Gotcha.
They used to have a
Yeah,
youth thing at the high school,
Uh-huh.
and I guess they just didn't have support for it or something. It went away.
I think it died down during COVID.
And so basically, and I thought whenever I got that big pamphlet about how to do it, is that it was almost as if they were gonna hand it to us and we were gonna take it over, and that was gonna be like, I don't know what would be involved, but I mean, a lot of time,
Yeah.
a lot of time
Right.
to do that one.
Don't ask me, because I was more focused on the multicultural.
Yeah, I know.
That makes sense. I just didn't.
I was like, youth
So we were-
advisory council, not me. Go to this
We were
one.
gonna drive that train.
Mhm.
Wow,
I
that'd be huge.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you said about the tax dollars. I mean, I think a lot of people wanna know, how are my tax dollars being
Mhm.
spent?
Yeah.
You know? Where's my money going?
Why is the water so expensive?
Mhm.
Councilman Mosley.
New meters.
Okay, so is there a way that all that down, we're trying to buy water, I mean, I know you go to all that, whatever, Saline County Water Authority and things, and I don't know,
Pay the mayor.
but it
We're
sounds
gonna-
really complicated to me.
Pay the mayor.
Yeah.
Sounds
Well, I
complicated.
didn't mean to pick on the water department. I don't think my water
Well,
bill is too high.
you know, they have to have a
but I just
bulletproof
think, yeah.
window.
You're 78% percentile on lower water bills.
Yeah, I know. It's not that bad, but people are gonna complain. I mean, there's a complaint out there anyway, because they might go up.
Because the old ones are dead,
Well,
there's always something.
you said something,
And I
and
love
then
it.
I think Jack
I
said
go
something,
online
and
and check it all out
my
now.
brain is
It's
going,
awesome.
this might be crazy. This might take us nowhere, it's just a thought. So you said that y'all are having a hard time, like, getting people to come to the table and, like, open up a conversation with you at events. What if we did, this might be crazy, again, I'm running on very low sleep this week. What if we had, like, a comment box? Like, just a box that's closed off, you can't open it until you're done, like, you lock it, and it says, like, what questions do you have for the city of Bryant? And then we can have that at every event, and then maybe
Comment.
or a comment.
Just a comment.
And then the next month, we can have the mayor make a video addressing each of those questions.
I like that.
Yeah, to get them, they need to
Yeah,
talk to
you gotta
guys.
get
But what
some
about like a
information.
Google form or something, so you can have it online automatically?
QR codes they could scan at your booth. And that could be
Either way.
available.
Fill it out in
Oh,
there.
Some people are gonna
Or
want
they can
paper,
write
some are
it.
gonna,
I mean, we can have the option.
given the option of that, I'd probably do paper.
Well,
I
the,
like
the
QR
hardest group that we're ever going to track are the longtime residents, right, that don't want it to change. And they are not gonna do a QR code.
I know, that's what I'm.
They're,
Yeah, we would have options. We can have the QR code, maybe an iPad or
Yeah.
something where they can do it there,
An
or
either
a
or.
box.
either or type thing.
Well, I think one of the things that we have to focus on are just listening. We talked about this before, and we've talked about this before. One of the things we got to focus on is the people that's not gonna change, Ms. Renee, they're not gonna change. And that just is what it is. We just got to accept that and move on from them. Because they're not gonna change, they're not open to change, they're gonna gripe about what's going on and why it's going on. But when you present them with information to show them what's going on, hey, we're being transparent, we're walking you through the steps, we're giving you information. You leave your comment, the mayor addresses it, they still don't like it. So the thing that we have to focus on is, can we change with what we're doing? Like she said, where can we lean in on the foxhole at, right? And then, can we provide the information that's there for them? Can we also provide them an avenue to give us their comments? If they don't, I don't have to read your comment. Drop it in the box. Somebody else will read it, and then like Mayor Scott used to do Coffee with the Mayor. He addressed a lot of things with Coffee when he did his Coffee with the Mayor video, and it was live for everybody to see, and you can go back and watch it if you missed it. So I think those are things that we have to focus on. Can we focus on what we can affect? Because the ones that we can affect, they're gonna be doing what they're gonna do. They don't like the way they change it. Here's the thing. I'm a person, I'll tell you up front, I hate change. But guess what? Change is necessary, and it's gonna happen regardless if we like it or not. The thing is, what can we focus on to move us forward? And I think these are some good ideas, and then so have all this information at the table. But then the other thing is, we as a committee at these events or these other subcommittees, we have to be able to facilitate that information that we're talking about, know what we're talking about, and be sound on it, so that when people ask us questions, we can, well, hey, I may not know every councilman, but hey, here's a sheet right here, and list everybody that's in the council by ward. Here's your council, right? What ward you in? Oh, here's Jack Mosley, your councilman. Here's that email number, you can reach out to him. He'll get back to you at his earliest convenience.
Lives in that house right on the corner of.
He likes to be called after
With the
7
chickens.
But you see what I'm saying? Those are, I think, some of the things that we can do to affect, help Mayor Treat to be as best as possible, help the city to be as transparent as possible. And that's just off the basis, just listening. I mean, because we're gonna always have those. You can have transparency orders, like you were saying. It doesn't matter. Because if I don't like it, and I don't like the way it's going, and I like the old this and the old that, my feelings are not, like I tell my students all the time, the feelings in your logic, take it out. What is it saying to you? What are we trying to do? We're providing you with information. We're providing you a place to go look at that information. Or we're presenting that information to you so that you can see and you can make an informed decision. Hey, why is my water bill this way? Hey, this is what's going on with the water. Hey, you can contact these folks, or you can look here, have some information here to explain it to you, whatever. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that we can do to affect it to the best of our abilities. And then the rest of it will be open for them to make any assumptions or biases they have. It's going to be what it is, but we've done our job as to provide them a means. Like you said, where's my money going? Well, your money going on this parkway we just built, these walking trails, these pickleball courts we just built. This is where your tax dollars went. You can see, look at it.
The pickleball courts, that'd have been a great sign right there, right? Hey, tax dollars.
Something.
Yeah, that
For
would've been
2024,
great.
whatever it was, I mean, stuff like
Yeah.
that, just to say, hey, this is improvements.
Have y'all gone to many of the council meetings?
No.
And that's something we could have one of those, sign holders or something with the, tax dollars are on this and
With
that.
like pictures of the projects, that would be neat, like an
Or
easel.
like,
Yeah, like Parks had that
Their master
fantastic.
plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of like that's like, hey, these are the projects we're working on, and that's where your money's going to.
I was gonna share this because we've got a new council in January, not a new council, but we've got some changes that I feel really good about. Yes, yes. Like, you remember that older man that has the flooding? He comes to the council meetings and, well, there's 100 of them, but, who's just pleading with the city to do something about his flooding. But we spent 30 minutes with the animal lady, talking about needing to expand and, you know, all of us are, we'd like the animals to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But this man, his kitchen is underwater. And I just feel that this council, am I right here? This council will take these things seriously.
Have a 30-minute scheduled meeting or speaking event with kind of thing.
Speaking of it,
Lisa's. No, there's somebody that wants to spend more than 3 minutes, he's gonna spend about 30 minutes at council.
man, tomorrow? Council's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'll be
about
ready.
that. Mhm.
Yeah. You can schedule more than 3 minutes,
Right,
but do it through one of us.
yeah.
I think this could,
Mhm. It's a proactive council. And as far as I know, I think every single council member has met with the mayor since they've been elected.
y'all know, Butch Higginbotham,
Don't think so.
who else is?
Walter Burgess,
Walter Burge.
he was on our planning commission for a couple of years.
And, I mean, John Martin's great. I mean, Jordan O'Rourke is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I just see some changes
You're not great, Jack.
and.
You're-
Oh, yes, he is. Oh, he is great. I'm really looking forward to this group. It's a good group.
Yeah.
And I mean, Lisa and Rob and Wade and all of, they're good.
They know a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have so much knowledge because they've been involved for so long.
Yes,
Even before Lisa, her husband was on.
yes. Mhm.
They just know, they have so much like institutional knowledge.
Yeah.
I think everybody's gonna work really well together this year.
So,
Just terrific, and with Chris, their treat.
Mm.
So we get those people to want to come out and vote for things that really need to happen. And we have a little money that we can spend on our projects.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, just all this perfect world
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and this is not on the agenda, but I did want to give everybody an update on, Bless Bryant. We're taking it, so, you know, last year we did just like a pilot program in Ward 3, and a few people were able to help out. Me and the mayor are taking that over completely this year. The whole month of September is going to be just like a month of service for the city of Bryant. So over the next few months, we're going to work with the high school student senate group, and we're, Cross Point Church and Family Life Church, and we're going to start evaluating all these different projects that people come to us with about. We're going to work with nonprofits. So if ABBA Adoption, if they need their pantry stocked one day, in the month of September, we're going to have volunteers who go out and do that. Or Civitan needs their sidewalk washed or something. So
You including Margie Thompson on all this?
she's part of our executive team.
Yeah, she's
good.
She's phenomenal. Yeah.
They had that so well organized,
Mhm.
don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Margie was our main organizer last year, and
Yeah.
she killed it.
Which, can you scroll back down, I mean, scroll down to those categories right
Mhm.
there. All right, so going back to these. I do like them, I think it breaks down the city, I think you did a good job of getting it, so I think that, just personally, I would like to see people assigned to go to those areas and to find out what we could do, but then, because that right there, when you're talking about Bless Bryant, a lot of your ideas could come out of those.
Mhm.
it doesn't always have to be the categories 1 and 2, you know, giving you those. There could be some businesses and some chambers that could help, that they may know of a need, or even some city departments that might have a need or know some need too. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like the fact that you brought it back up, and, you know, here's some ideas on here, but I think that instead of going with the ideas that are on the agenda, no offense.
No, you're
but
fine.
I'd like to go back to these, and we might branch them out into those, but.
Who said that community, engagement committee couldn't do no job? So we could come.
Y'all did 4 years ago, whatever.
Yeah, we did that.
We showed up and we were like,
I like it.
hey.
This is great. I mean, this could be something as simple as like, Yesenia, your students, your kids go to Bryant schools, so you're on the newsletter. So anytime something happens, you can shoot it to us, or like if somebody receives like the Chamber of Commerce business news every month.
And build a relationship with them.
I mean,
I get, don't take this wrong or anything, but I get confused sometimes with this. And are we community engagement, community service? I mean, I just want to make sure that we're trying to be involved and get the community to be engaged. The churches, they're looking for volunteers, they're looking to do projects and work.
Like, if you go up to number 7, we would gather the information. So we're not gonna go and
No,
I mean,
no.
we can if you want to, but
Right.
we're not gonna go do that. So, but let's say it's a church that's needing volunteers, so then one of our events will have their flyers, or like, hey, or, you know, we can post it on our page, and I can like, send a message to all of you, hey, can y'all please share this, or share with your friends, see if anybody wants to help. And so we would just be the communication part of them. So we're not gonna go to the school and help out specifically on at their event.
Right.
We're gonna be like, hey, there's this event, and they're inviting everybody. There's the churches that have this going on, Bless Bryant, so, or the city has Bless Bryant, and they're looking for volunteers, so we would just help out, sharing that information at our event. If let's say it's, the Duck Derby, so, what is it, like, I think last time, July, that's when we did the sign-ups, for the projects. So during that one in May, we can be like, hey, this is coming up, don't forget to, you know, put your projects, it's coming up, you know, soon, or, hey, the school is gonna have this event, and they want everybody to participate.
So kind of like we're putting out the effort to promote them in hopes that they'll turn around and help promote us.
Yeah, I think to be engaged, you need to be in service, but you don't have, you know, I think that engagement's far outranks it, but I think there's a lot of I think's going on here, but with city departments, let's take that one. For instance, the city department, there might be an event at the animal shelter that we hear about, and just need to get the word out. And we're not looking for volunteers, we're just, you know, there's an event, an adoption event, or a free shot event, I don't know what they do. And then, you know, businesses and chambers, or going up to number one Bryant schools. If we do have an event and we need volunteers, I mean, there might be some volunteer opportunities with the schools that we just reach out, go there, we're doing this event, Bless Bryant, and I know that you have, National Honor Society that needs community service hours, let's do this, or Junior ROTC let's do it, or we have a youth advisory council, or whatever. I think that we just, as a committee, we bring kind of all those groups together to do things.
Yes.
Yeah, and we knew that from there's not enough of us, there's not enough of us to do.
People not gonna do it.
Or, right.
Yeah,
all
thing.
the
Student
things.
Senate, or,
Yeah.
again, or, you know, or a business, and that you need to stock a pantry, can we go to Edwards and say, hey, we're stocking a pantry, you got a case of chicken and soup you can spare?
Right.
Something like that, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
And again, we're not the ones doing that, we're just, we just say, hey, can you get people to go do it for, you know, we do it, yes, but we're not doing all of it.
Right.
And with that in mind, if we start building the relationship, so like, you don't wanna just go to, you know, Food Giant and be like, hey, can you give me some food for the
Right.
food pantry over here? But let's say Rod has a relationship with Food Giant, with the business. You have a relationship with the church or the food pantry that needs it. Like, hey, Rod, could you get in contact with your contact? And see if they can help, you know, maybe you can be the connection, connect them. So, yeah, we're not necessarily gonna be doing the activities, the volunteer, but we're gonna be communicating. And so I think that's, we don't wanna just come to these meetings and be like, well, what are we gonna talk about? You know, like, hey, this is going on in the city, this is going on in the schools, this is going on in church and you know, I think we can implement it. I think we should make like our table the center of our meetings, like what do we wanna have at that table?
So with the information hub.
And let them be there, I mean, somebody might wanna be there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we might get a student that needs.
Bryant Schools may have an event coming up, and they wanna have it at our table and give out flyers, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we thought about the football game, we thought about having a table at the games. But that, again, was back when we were doing, but I'm gonna look at this thing that's not really a survey, but this, whatever, where people can make comments.
Comment
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
You just simply have something they can write on the paper and just drop them. And give it to them next week.
Talk to us, write it down.
Because some people, I mean, you might say like, do you have any issues with the city? And they're like, you work in the city, I don't wanna talk to you.
Like,
Write it down. Right.
Another thing is, the translation. He is able to translate anything to, share it, with the Spanish-speaking population, which is huge, to me, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be of any other, I put it, I worked at UAMS and my coworkers, and some lived in Bryant. And they said, I'm not about to trust the city. Flat out, to my face.
I just feel like we're helping the churches and the schools get out information, but I mean, they don't have a problem getting their information out, I feel like. I mean, we're trying to connect with the community, right?
Yes.
We're trying to, it's like, I don't know how to put it in words, like, I feel like the churches, we would be better off with the churches trying to spread our word than us trying to spread their information.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you know,
I think it needs to be, just like our table, did we find that thing where that actually says what we are on, that tablecloth?
I haven't found
It says
Didn't we have a sign?
community engagement. Yeah. Now,
what does that mean?
it should say for, it shouldn't make it sound like we are. We, you know, I don't know how to get that
Community.
across.
Yeah, I don't know.
Y'all, ChatGPT has become my
Oh, I love it.
favorite thing. A group of individuals who work together to build and strengthen relationships between an organization and the community it serves. The goal is to create and implement strategies that foster positive interaction, communication, and collaboration with the local or community or key stakeholders. Committee might focus on organizing events, volunteer opportunities or outreach, gathering feedback from the community about needs and concerns, promoting awareness of the organization's efforts and initiatives, building partnerships with local organizations, schools, or government bodies. Ultimately, it's about creating a sense of connection and trust between the organization and the people it impacts. Then they said, does it sound like what you're asking for?
Bingo, is our bylaw.
I think that's perfect. Yeah.
And like the comment box and all that,
Yeah.
we're gonna have the solution, like the information for the city, the board members, council members, you know, so that we're covering that. And then information about stuff around the city. I mean, because the school is part of the city, the churches are part of the city. So, you know, if we pass out some of that information, I think we would cover all three.
We gotta look at it from a totality. Totality is saying this, we're gonna engage the community. All those entities are part of our community, and no matter how you look at it, because some of us go to church, some of us, got kids in school, we got people that's in the officials, government officials, and local nonprofit organizations. It's all part of our community. Now, if you're saying community from a standpoint of the people, just the people,
I
like,
guess that's maybe what I think that's what I keep thinking about. That's what I'm driving, like,
so I can see
the
that.
people, you know?
That is, okay, so if that's the case, then we need to, you can't have engagement without service. They run hand in hand, they like this, they tie together no matter what you do. Because I'm a servant at heart, and I want the people to be engaged. I want the folks to get the information, but they can't do that unless we provide it to them. I gotta be a servant. Me being a servant, a steward on this council or on this committee is helping do what? Foster information into my community. In other words, I'm helping to engage the community as best as I can. You know, we can go out there and knock on doors, we can pass out flyers. That's engagement as well. It ain't necessarily just gotta be those entities. We can do those other things within our wards, but I mean, how big is the ward and what's the quickest way to get the information out?
Yeah.
Social media or some type of, you know, where you can blast it, but okay, am I gonna read it? Water bill. Yeah, I see the letter in the mail. I appreciate it, I really do. I don't read everything on it, but I appreciate it, and then I appreciate the dollars when it go down, you know, and then it go back up.
You know what?
But that's the thing, you know, whatever.
You know what? I need y'all to read my newsletter more often.
Yeah,
I put
do.
hard work into that
I
thing.
do, no, but those are great questions, and that we ask, and so, you know, I like that, you know, we just have to be mindful of that, and like, I'm with you, Senior, action. You gotta put action behind it, because if we don't put action behind it, we just sit in the room wasting our time talking. Let's put action behind it. And then we can go out and do stuff, and we can be at these events or push information out, because that's engagement. I mean, I don't know what more we can do. You know, well, it's probably some more we can do if we really wanted to, but I'm just saying
We're limited.
from that standpoint. You see what I'm saying? From that standpoint. But the biggest thing is what we have. Are we what's the word I'm looking for? Actionable in what we have. Because like I'm a proactive person versus being reactive. I hate being reactive. I like to be proactive. Go and do it, figure it out versus okay, then I'm gonna react to what's let's figure it out and then go from there, and then let's see what's not working. And then hopefully, like the comment box or whatever, that'll help us out greatly. We already seeing what the social media and all that's saying, and then you know if the mayor agrees to it, he can answer those questions or whatever the case is, and then we can proceed to funnel that information. And then if it's something else we need to do based on the community, okay, what's that thing we need to do, and how can we do it, and how can we do it in a way that's effective, smart, and efficient, so we don't waste our time.
The biggest thing is to build trust within
Right.
the city officials and the community. So how do we do that? Is we go, I feel like some of this is going the long way, which is maybe fosters relationships that have good, I see nothing wrong with any of this, right?
Mhm.
But what is, I don't know, I'm like, what is the quickest way to get the community to, you know, like the comment box? I like that. I like it because it's like, what is it? What are we addressing? What is it that they're having an issue with that they don't trust, and then having Mayor Tree address those? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there's just a straighter way to it,
Mm.
you know, but that's it.
And just being of service at other people's things, is what
Yes.
you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I think it helps for people to become familiar with us,
Or, yeah.
and say, oh, yeah, and thinking that they can talk to us, or at least give us an opportunity to talk to them.
Yeah.
What if instead of school, churches, and their category, we go to, water department, parks, city planning department, and we get, you're assigned to the water bill, so you get in contact with him. You're with parks, then you contact the parks director, maybe,
So that you can answer the
then-
questions?
during events, we can answer questions or contact information, like, talk to that guy. He's an expert in the water bill, so he can help you out with who you need to contact. Somebody in the parks can explain what's going on with, tax dollars, because I know parks, uses, to update and stuff like that.
And part of that could be, because we have the whole We Are Bryant page on our website, part of that could be that we start doing more videos explaining, like, why do I have an infrastructure fee on my water bill? Or what is this Act 605? And having that on the website, that we could give you guys a QR code at all of the events with some, like a basic outline of what is Act 605 if someone comes up. But they can also scan this QR code and hear the mayor talk about what that is and how that'll impact your water bill.
There you go. Because if you have a comment box and it's filled up with, I'm sick of my water bill, okay? I say it's all full of that. Then we hammer home on that. Like, the mayor, us, when we're at events, we know what to talk about. We know, we have a focus on what the community is saying. I mean,
Would it, for you guys' sake, as a committee, would it be more beneficial for us to wait until Duck Derby to have a questions and concerns box? Or do you think it would help you guys if I did like a short Google form on Facebook and I was like, what are your concerns with the city services? And then I could bring that to the meeting for us to look at.
well, there's not enough followers, right? On
We
Facebook.
have,
Well, yeah, I don't, I think in person at these things is really and that's why, if we were at the football games,
right.
we're gonna see more people than we would even at, the Fall Fest and,
Right.
things like that. Just be a presence with, would you like to fill this out and tell us how you feel?
No.
Maybe that's even one thing where we ask the schools if we could have, one or two people set out at a month.
Something.
Just a small table.
Something.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, we have kind of maybe only 4 meetings for us to have whatever we're gonna plan out. And it's only 4 hours. It technically is only 4 hours, 4 meetings from here till May. And so I think we need to focus on our game plan. What are we gonna do? And this is the time, if we're gonna do the city, then for us to get with our departments and start learning some things about the city. And in May, we go out there, we have the comment box and stuff. And so then from May, we're gonna have June, July, and then August, September. So that's 4 months, until, Fall Fest, where you can have the videos.
Right.
And so we're gonna have 4 months, which is 4 hours, 4 meetings.
Yeah.
And, or in between, the mayor can decide if he wants to answer some of those questions. And at Fall Fest, we can have answers too.
Right.
So, May can be the starting point, and then, Fall Fest can be our response time.
I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
So for the next,
So we're gonna go all in on Duck Derby. I like it.
yeah, I like it too. So that'll give us February, really only 4.
And
It's at the beginning of May. So we'll have February, March, and April.
So you're saying someone should take,
February, March, yeah, 3.
budget, maybe
Yeah, maybe
To
get with
some-
somebody from budget,
a
and
fact
I don't know,
sheet on budget, a fact sheet on water, parks. I don't know what all else there is, but something.
Animal.
So what are or should we leave it for next meeting, because I know it's almost 7. Next meeting, that's where we can decide the departments we're gonna hit, and who's gonna hit, who's gonna be.
That means we'll have old business at our next meeting. I know, that's awesome.
business.
We're getting to the point where we got old business.
We're a real
coming up.
committee now. I like that. I think that's a good
I'm
idea.
feeling like we've come a long way.
I can volunteer to get some park information.
I don't really know, this is my
Oh,
first.
that might be kind of hard for you. It might be kind of hard for you to talk to people at parks, you know?
I know.
You're just married to one.
I would love parks because I had a text, Mayor Treat about the pathway the other day, a while back because it
Mhm.
wasn't getting cleaned off and
Which one?
at
Mills.
Mills.
Hey, we just got a grant to restore.
Well, good. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, and I went the
Maybe
other
that's,
day and.
maybe that's why they quit cleaning it, but,
We're out of money.
and I was thinking that too. But that really, and I'll just say, I think being out of money it is for excuse. Because it really just takes, like, do we have a four-wheeler? Does the city have a four-wheeler? A four-wheeler.
I think the Public Works Department has one or two.
Because all you need to clear that path is a four and a blower. I mean, and you can have it blown off in no
Are you
time.
talking about the walking
Yeah.
trail?
Yeah, it gets.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about like how it's so uneven.
No,
We
no,
got a
well, no,
we got
no,
a
no.
grant to fix
I-
that.
no, I'm
Yeah,
talking-
I was talking about that.
I'm talking about
The whole point of you walking is so you gotta
debris.
get the rain.
No.
We can,
It's supposed to be
we can get somebody from Parks to, once a month, go out and.
Well, it's not, yeah, it's
Because
not
we
once
were
a month,
walking
it's been like
and
about once
got
every
dark.
3 months. So I don't know that, I don't know why, I mean, they don't have, there's not enough, manpower
That's like, I don't know.
What was,
outside of mine, but it's there and people walk on it on a daily basis and it's,
So what's there, like trash?
it's just limbs, leaves, you got all ages walking on that trail
I used to
and
walk all the
running.
time.
You know, I walk on it, well.
guess
every
what,
day.
we're gonna have a comment box for that.
Yeah, so, hey, put me over that, please.
Let them have parks.
Yeah, I'll take parts, but anyway.
I don't know, but I'm just thinking, weren't you going out there to Bishop and filling up, or wherever? I mean, it's like, it's sort of like a thing, like, just because he's like, okay, I can see there's a problem, I'm gonna go out there and fix it. But if we had other people that wanted to volunteer their time to.
Nobody's gonna wanna go clean out a commode and all that, so.
Oh, y'all. Yeah,
Probably right
exactly.
about that.
It was, volunteering at the senior thing, and they didn't have the money for a plumber, and he went and just basically put all these trash bags
Gotta have
all
that
over
one.
himself. Yeah.
Put a trash bag up my arm and greased in there.
Open the
Oh,
door.
no. Oh, no.
Just kidding.
Wool. Wool.
No.
Yep.
Well, it's,
Yeah, I wanna volunteer, but not for that one.
Wait a minute now, that's-
I know, you can't pick and choose, can you? I know.
You can't do that, man.
like, see, there's other projects like, I know you have been on the lights thing forever. That is just an accident waiting to happen. Because once it gets dark,
Tragedy.
it's dark.
I'm scared to walk out of the Parks Committee meeting some nights.
You can't walk out on the steps,
No.
because you can't see them.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's like you could just wear yourself out with all the,
Go up there.
Jackson.
I know.
that needs cleaned off, and then, somebody's gonna get hurt out there.
Madam President, you got what you need, so we can be squared away.
Sorry. Somebody's ready to
We're
go.
coming up on-
Get out of here.
Can we just get so if we, for this whole business, just, are we gonna get like just a list of the, Sonic, you want a list of the city departments that we can engage with so that we have information to,
It's kind of like
regurgitate
that,
that
like, but
Doug
we're gonna
Dirty.
replace those
that's what we're.
categories
Yeah.
with,
So-
city departments.
And I know
so-
that the city departments are online, but we can just
Yeah.
maybe have us a sign-up sheet. That would
Yeah,
be
we can,
wonderful.
we're gonna just replace those categories there
Work.
and start adding names.
And you know, it's not like
Out there.
some of those, like,
Right.
for the most part, people trust police and fire.
Yeah.
So while we want to put that information out there and like promote how great they are, we might not need somebody completely dedicated to
Usually
police.
they're there.
Right, they are usually there. Or like HR, that might be just more internal. HR and IT could just be more internal, but something like community development, what new businesses are coming to town.
That's cool too, because
Mhm.
I get asked all the time what stuff going up, like where they going?
Yeah.
I thought you were part of the engagement. I don't know. That is Little Caesars, right, on rental?
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
Some of the things that are about to happen, that there's gonna be a lot of more angrier people than there have been.
Mm.
And what do we do?
What do you mean?
No?
Are we allowed to talk about annexation?
Oh, yeah, it's out there.
Or angry? And
And now, is this a new one coming up?
we're trying to,
We just passed one that we had to annex in, they didn't want to be annexed in,
Okay. When we say where that's at?
Midland Park.
Okay.
Midland Estates.
It just passed Midland Park, Midland Road.
if we're looking for trust, we're looking to gain more people to register to vote, people to understand that we can't run any money. You know, we're at a point
And you,
that it's just gonna be worse.
and you hear that the city's got plenty of money. You said, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
So-
that they're gonna use it on something that is not even what you
Right,
want,
Right,
and
right, yeah.
the man with his kitchen in the water, and
Right.
I mean, I'm here all the time, and I don't know I know our money's being spent, but even I don't know where every single dollar goes to. So I know.
right?
Joy speak.
I
Budget
know
though, right?
residents have no idea.
Joy
No, they're
is
not.
good,
No.
she is
They
good.
just assume.
Yeah, Joy
they
can tell you
assume.
anything.
Budget should be able to tell us where all our dollars are going.
Right.
Or if we're able to provide something to show them where the dollars are
Right.
going. And we, as a community, we show them, hey, this is where you can go see where the dollars are being spent.
I
That
know,
answers the questions for them.
I know y'all are ready to get out, but
Yeah, no.
have I shown you guys our newest, we have a budget in brief. So instead of the 100 and some odd page finance report, this is like a 16-page document that kind of just goes into, it has like pie charts for how much money goes to like public safety or,
Yeah, that's it. That's showing me where my tax dollars go.
Mhm.
That's what they need to see,
Yeah.
Correct,
right there.
but somebody's manipulating that.
Of course.
We don't need a spreadsheet.
Which
What do you
with all
mean?
this stuff, that right there, that pie chart.
Right, yep.
Not good.
Well, he's just
Somebody's
saying,
gonna
like,
like
when you
that.
present the information to them, tell them, well.
Look at, this is great information. This tells you that $2.66.
Somebody thinking that it's not.
Government per day, from a taxpayer. And out of that 266, this much goes to fire, this much goes to police.
I mean, you can have, I don't know, that's cool to have something blown up
Yeah.
bigger, saying, hey, how much of your, per day, your tax dollars, or where they're going,
Yeah.
People just don't go on here and look for this stuff.
Right.
I mean,
It answers the immediate question. Where's my money going? Here's where your money going.
Right.
No matter how much tax you pay, this is how much a day that you pay per, as a citizen per day. This is the departments and where it's going. It answers the question.
I'm picturing a City of Bryant television channel. Everybody gets.
Don't put that in his head.
all day.
Yeah.
And we have our laser pointer.
Yeah.
And we say, well, this is how much it really costs you.
Yeah.
No, but what we can do is like, a person that's gonna be assigned to that, and somebody's gonna come up and talk to you and say, hey, I don't trust the city, I don't know where my money's going. Well, guess what? Miss Renee, she actually has a link to a budget that's gonna tell you exactly, and you send her to Miss Renee, and Miss Renee's gonna know what to say, you know? And so that's, you know, part of what we're gonna do is kind of learn what's out there to share with the
Well, people
community.
don't wanna have to do anything to
Right.
get their
Yeah.
information.
They want you to just get.
Yeah, so
They
that's why
did-
she can be like, look, right here,
Yeah.
we can,
They just wanna
um,
be able to see it, hear it, know it, if you tell them, here, click on this, you can go and the page down, they're not doing it, they're not doing it, you know?
we can, like, I do QR code for that, like, hey, let's just snap a picture and, but each person, like, instead of Jordan doing all the work, or maybe you need to help us with the QR codes, but,
I can do that.
you know, you would have QR codes for the parks, and you would have QR codes for the budgets, and you would have QR
Yeah.
codes for the projects that are going on, you know? And so whoever is in charge of whatever would have the links, or we can have a binder with links where they can just snap it, or you can just show it, like, look, let me show you this on my phone, or I know almost everybody has iPads or some kind of tablet. We can take our,
I mean, I kinda like that, because, I mean, you can actually have like a parks folder, right? A
Mhm.
water bill folder.
Oh, yeah.
Or something, where you're out and you can just easily pull it out and say, this is exactly where, you know,
Mhm.
I mean, you can have that information right there, I guess. Separated, like you said, for all of us to be able to.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Laminated, I don't know if it still works good, but if it does, like, laminated sheets on the days we're at the events, we each pull out our sheets, or have
But
them in our spots, or,
Gotta get them engaged, though. Gotta get them talking, right?
but I'm sure that at the beginning it's
Rod
gonna be
does a good
hard,
job
but
talking to us.
once we get it going, they're
Yeah.
gonna know they can come to us.
Yeah.
But it's just that, like, I know I saw some families at this event that we did last, from Fall Fest, and I remember them
Uh-huh.
from Fall
You are
Fest. I
good
was like,
with the
hey, I
people.
saw you.
Really good.
It's like, guess what? Look, I have this for you today. Like, okay, let me see, you know, and so.
One of the things that you can do is make sure everybody knows that these meetings are open to the
We made a big deal of pointing that out to them at the Fall Fest and this last, I know I did.
Yeah.
Tell them, hey, guys, we don't work I'm a volunteer, I don't get paid to
Yeah.
tell you this stuff. I told them that up front. I don't get paid to tell you anything, I'm doing this because I wanna see my community grow. That's why I'm here, and I'm trying to help you with this information. Take a look at it, you got any questions about anything, hey, I'm more than welcome to talk to you about it. Hey, I can even show you the website. That's just what I did. Now, I ain't gonna go out there and chase them, but I'll give them the information as they come. You know, as they walk by, I speak, you know, hey, got a second?
She goes and back from
That's
the.
different.
Yeah, you and Daniel go around and find
Now,
people.
we did the last time, we was at Fall Fest.
Yeah, we did.
With the
The whole thing.
But that's
What
a
about-
good thing. I think if we do stuff, like, if we do that, then we're doing what we're supposed to do.
That's
what the
right.
committee is built to do.
Yeah.
And I think we'll make major strides with that. But again, we can only do so much. The people have to do something on their own.
We need like a catchphrase, or like a cute catchphrase that encompasses community engagement, that we can make like a T-shirt.
Mhm.
It just says like, you know how some
How
T-shirts
about
say
like, got trust?
That's great.
Go Bryant, go Bryant.
Ooh,
How many people come to the,
did you hear
city council meeting?
Go Bryant, grow Bryant.
Or, you know, to me, it depends on what we're doing, or they're doing, is if it's something that involves, well, remember when y'all gave them the fire and police department a raise? That place was packed.
Oh.
Wow, that was amazing.
So when you're gonna go spend some money, you can get a lot of people, to show up.
When they're ready to.
We were losing people to all the outlying agencies, even the smaller ones, so we need to have everybody in there to know to spread the word, so.
But on a normal, you know, just general, there's
Yeah,
probably
general.
30, 50 people in there maybe.
I don't even know if that,
No.
we might
We're
get
lucky to
10.
have 20.
yeah.
And 8 of them are council members and 1 of them's the mayor.
The
Well,
rest are city
well, you're talking about
employees.
inviting people here.
Joy and the
I mean,
lawyer.
I don't know if they're gonna, sorry, I'm probably not gonna come here.
They can't,
Ashley.
but remember, we had those people come when
Oh, because they thought it was,
The public comment.
they thought that, well, they were really upset about
Yeah.
whatever that was.
What?
I think it was about Midland annexation. We had a group of people in this meeting
Mhm.
that came and sat over here, and one of them asked
yeah,
at the
I
end of the
remember that.
meeting,
I
and she was
remember
like, wait, does this have anything to do with?
Yeah, I remember. The mayor was sitting there, we pretty
Yep.
much, yeah, I remember.
But, and he said, you know, but then it was sort of like a practice session.
Yeah.
For them to be able to tell us
Mm-hmm.
and to be ready to go talk in the council meeting.
That's intimidating.
Yeah.
It's scary. I mean, I work here, and I don't want to go up and stand at that podium. I got to push me up there.
Every single
I didn't want to do it
citizen of
then.
this community has a right to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and I want them to do it. I want them to know that, I mean, it's just part of,
Yeah, it's part of government.
you know. Instead of saying, well, all I would do is wait till I can move out of Bryant where I don't have to pay such high taxes. They move somewhere else and their taxes are higher.
What a lot of people, like with Act 605, that mandates all cities to do a rate study every 2 years, 3 years. So every single county and city in Arkansas, everyone's water rate is about to go up because of this mandated act that they're putting in. But people don't realize that because they don't know what Act 605 is. So they're like, oh, my water bill's raising in Bryant. It's going to raise in Benton, too.
I'm gonna say one more thing and I'm gonna be quiet.
Rod's ready to go.
I'm sorry.
Are you good?
But Jack and I grew up in Southwest Little Rock. It was idyllic. It was just a wonderful place
Mhm.
to live. And my daddy was a school teacher, and, you know, he drove the school bus like the school teachers do, and all of the things, and everybody, you weren't afraid, and the whole thing. You cannot even drive over. We have had classmates who shot to death in Southwest Little Rock. So what happened? Did people just shut off and no longer be a part of the community? Did people they weren't willing to have taxes to make things better? What happened? And that's what bothers me is people in Bryant think that we can just go on like this forever with no funds to work with. And we've got grandkids that are going to raise their families here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just because of what we think about it. I cannot stand the idea of Bryant becoming someplace that you would feel unsafe.
Yeah. And not involved and like community oriented.
But the thing about it makes us unique, so we got the best chief. So,
I'm into that.
But they won't. People have to retire eventually.
yeah, well, it's going up to lose his mind, just like we did last time with the.
I know, we got a really good fire.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was so thankful that Futch was there when JP left. Because it's like he didn't even skip a beat. It was like JP left and then Futch jumped right in.
Partners.
Yeah.
He sat with us at the chamber.
Banquet. Oh. Yes.
One you missed?
Migraine. Thank you very much, Jack.
They too.
Well, someone gave me a mic.
Look at that face on Rod. Look at that look on Rod's
I remember.
Anybody got any other community engagement related?
I also.
I promise you.
We like picking
Guys,
on
I'm
you.
good. I promise you. Cause no matter when I leave, I still got something to it. It's gonna be there when I get there. I ain't worried about it. I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, nah. That's just give me a reprieve.
Yeah, y'all keep talking.
Hey, I want to go home to my puppy, y'all.
Yeah, I move we adjourn.
Have a second?
Second.
Right. Thank you, guys.